Yesterday, Republican Governor Bob McDonnell backed down on a radical bill to force women to undergo intrusive ultrasounds before an abortion. Before that controversy, Virginia was poised to be the first state to pass a personhood bill that says life begins at conception, meaning a fertilized egg is legally a person. It could have banned all abortions, no matter what, and even ban hormonal birth control. But today, in a completely unexpected move, Virginia's Republican-led state Senate killed the personhood bill, tabling it until next year. The retreat comes after protesters took to the State House for the second time this week. They let the bill's sponsors hear it today.
How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel?
Shame is right. The progressive pushback is working, and now is the time to keep going. Joining me now is Congresswoman DeGette, Democrat from Colorado. She's the co-chair of the Congressional Pro-Choice Caucus. And in Richmond, Virginia, Democratic State Senator Louise Lucas. Thank you both for joining me tonight.
It's good to be with you.
Thank you for having us.
State Senator Lucas, let me start with you. You were there for all the action in Virginia. Today, it was a big surprise when the Senate withdrew the bill. What happened?
Well, we actually went through the entire hearing during the committee, and of course there were so many people inside of the committee room. There was an equal number of people outside the committee room that fire marshals wouldn't let anybody else in. But if you could just hear the screams and the cries of the women standing out in the halls and in the corridor, just saying, we will not be silenced, that we don't know what Virginia is coming to. We can't believe that we're being subjected to this kind of legislation coming out of Richmond. What is Virginia going to? Where are we going to? Where are we headed? And I mean, I could barely contain myself. The emotions were high, and the tension in the room was so tight. And the committee chairman even threatened to have the people removed from the committee room because they were voicing their unhappiness with the bill. But ultimately, the big surprise came when we got over on the Senate floor. One of my Democratic colleagues moved to have the bill carried over until next year. We were able to get 6 Republicans from the other side to vote with us, and so the bill is carried over for right now. The bill is down. I tell you, it's going to come back with a vengeance next year.
Now, it may come back with a vengeance next year, but this year, clearly the protesters and the progressive pushback clearly made them at least retreat for now, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And let me tell you, 3 days ago, when those women came to the Capitol and they were lined up from 9th Street down Bank Street all the way to Broad Street, and they were standing outside the gate, and so I kept asking, why are these visitors outside the gate? And they were being told that they couldn't come onto the Capitol grounds. I asked Capitol Police, I asked State Police, I asked everybody, why are these people outside the gate? Nobody could give me a clear answer. So I went to the gate and motioned for those 1,100 people to come inside the gate. Otherwise, their protest may not have been accurately reported. And so they came in very silently and quietly in a dignified way, stood and stared at these legislators as they walked back and forth from the Capitol over to the General Assembly building. And I got to tell you, it was just awesome to see that silent protest. It was very impactful. And I'm sure that, coupled with all of the protesters who came in today, made the difference, because I think the legislators started to count the votes, and they knew they were in trouble.
Congresswoman DeGette, this personhood bill started in Colorado, where you're from. You're with the Pro-Choice Caucus. The people around this country have clearly said that they are against these reactionary, anti-woman type of legislative proposals. Why do we keep seeing them pop up, and what do we do to resist them nationally?
Well, there's really a war on women's health going on. It's everything from this Personhood Amendment, which we've defeated now twice in Colorado. They even defeated it in Mississippi this year. It's so extreme. Not only would it ban abortions, it would ban most birth control and in vitro fertilization and even probably stem cell research. And so you see this. You see restrictions on women's access to birth control. I'm so proud of my colleagues in Virginia today for making them postpone the personhood bill. But, you know, we still have a bill in Virginia and many other states that requires women to get unnecessary medical procedures before they can exercise their legal rights to women's health. So we're seeing unprecedented assaults on women's health at every level, at the state level, at the federal level. And I hope the women of America hear what happened with the women in Virginia and they start acting the same way around the country, because it is very, very dangerous when women's health is put so much at risk as it is in this election year.
Well, no doubt about it. When you look at the fact that 13 states around the country are looking at these personhood bills and at what is being proposed from all the way from Colorado to Virginia, at least postponing it and killing it today, I hope that they all are looking and knowing that protest and outrage being expressed works. And you, Senator, certainly Senator Lucas, have been instrumental in that as a elected activist or legislator who understands activism is part of the process.
Absolutely. And Reverend, I knew something like this was going to happen.
Congresswoman?
Reverend, let me tell you, every single Republican presidential candidate, including Mitt Romney, has endorsed these personhood amendments. It is very, very extreme. Like I say, it would ban even birth control pills and IUDs and most commonly known forms of birth control. And it's so extreme it was even defeated in Mississippi. So people need to wake up. The women and men of America need to wake up and realize this is a very extreme assault. And I think one of your last panelists said, you know, we're in the 21st century now. We're not in the Middle Ages. We need to make sure women have access to health care.
And that's why it's so amazing to me that all 4 Republican candidates endorsed what Senator Lucas and others were able to stop in Virginia today. Let me show you something else, Congresswoman. The previously rejected woman who was going to testify at Darrell Issa's hearing, Sandra Fluke, returned today to give her testimony on the importance of the president's birth control mandate. So Democrats in the House, Democrats around the country, women activists are standing up and fighting back. I think that you can turn back the clock, but you can't turn back time. Some of us are not going back.
That's right.
Exactly
We're not going back.
Well, I can tell you that
This is the young woman who testified today is the young woman who Darrell Issa, Chairman Issa, said was unqualified to testify about her need for birth control. At the same time, he had a panel of 5 men talking about women's access to contraception. So we were very happy she was able to come to the Hill today.
I'll give you the last word, Senator Lucas. It's your day.
Yes, sir. Reverend Sharpton, our minority leader said on the floor yesterday that these right-wing Republicans, if they could, they would turn back the 20th century.
Well, Congresswoman DeGette and State Senator Lucas, thank you both for your time tonight, and good luck. Ahead.
Thank you. We need it.
Ahead, Republicans are blaming President Obama for high gas prices, but he fired back today in a major way. And how about this one? Republican lawmaker in Wisconsin